Welcome to the Houston Roundball Review Takeover on the lunch break, powered by JM&E and also the BS3 Network. I am KG, Chris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. You're watching this show on Facebook, YouTube, of course, on Houston Roundball Review, Fire TV, Twitch, Musk, as well as Roku. Yes, Roku via BS3 Network. If you have a Roku streaming device, please do so. Just download BS3 TV. If you don't, you can go to BS3Network.com or you can go to BS3TVLive.com. It's going to be a Cougar filled show today, more so than usual. Cougar and Big 12 slant today, more so than usual. One thing, HU men's and women's basketball seasons will end. No postseason for them. Huskies lost last night to Lamar. They will not make it to the Southland Conference Tournament. HCU women, last game of the season will be tonight at Lamar. They will not go to the SLC postseason tournament. I think Texas Southern women, same thing. They won't go to the SWAC postseason tournament. Those two conferences do not send all members to the conference championships like the Big 12 does, with all 14 teams going to Kansas City. Big 12 women's basketball starts this evening. Miss Wanda Polk, thank you very much. It's always a great day. It's always a great day to be a Cougar, even on some days we have disagreements. But today is not one of those days. We're going to talk about the Cougs' 67-59 road win over UCF Wednesday night to clinch at least a share of the Big 12 regular season title. Cougs' first year in the Big 12. All those doubters, haters, naysayers. Oh, we'll see what they do when they get into a real conference. Oh. 14-3 in the Big 12 in that real conference. 27-3 overall. Regular season champs. If they lose on Saturday, they may not to KU. They could be a champion tying with Iowa State, but we shall see what happens. But yes, how you like the Cougars now. And speaking of Saturday, it's a busy day on campus. The university, this is from Andrew Pate, Media Communications with Houston. University of Houston is the place to be this Saturday, March 9th, as softball, men's basketball, and baseball all face off against Big 12 conference rivals as part of a jam-packed day on campus. Softball and baseball bookend the day's activities, hosting number 1 Texas at noon, and then Baylor at 6:30, respectively, in each sport's Big 12 conference opening series. Top-ranked Houston Cougars men's basketball caps home play at Fertitta Center with a senior day matchup against Kansas at 3 o'clock Central, Mr. Gibson. Parking lots open at 1 o'clock p.m. and doors open at 2 p.m., leading into Miss Wanda, everyone watching, 2:30 p.m. senior day ceremonies. Following the game, fans can use their digital ticket to gain free admission into Schroeder Park, some say Schrader Park, for baseball's conference tilt against Baylor. Putting that out there. So full day of Houston athletics on campus. Going to get right into this. Miss Wanda, I look forward to your purchase. No pressure on you. But newly launched Thursday, March 6th, tie-dye merchandise, tie-dye collection, including Houston Roundball Review bucket hats. Yes. I like those. Crew necks. I like those too. Hoodies. Still kind of a season for that in some parts of the country and the world. And tie-dye shirts, Roundball Review tie-dye t-shirts. Look at that. T-shirts, hoodies, crew necks, and bucket hats. Links available. Click that shop button if you're watching on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. If not, links on my website at HoustonRoundballReview.com. Follow me, go to Linktree. You see on the screen there. Linktree/Houston Roundball Review. Gonna play a few comments from Coach Kelvin Sampson Some folks say he should be the National Coach of the Year. He was on my ballot. He was number one on my ballot, though. Number one on my ballot was Amir Abdul-Rahim for what he's done at South Florida. South Florida was awful for years. And now his first year taking over at South Florida. First place, they're ranked in the top 25. Not a big deal to me, top AP. But to do what they're doing, they won 14 in a row in conference play. That man deserves some national recognition for what he's accomplished at South Florida. It's almost similar to what Houston was before Coach Sampson took over there at Houston 10 years ago. South Florida men's basketball was awful for years. But I digress. Back to the Houston Cougars' success, men's hoops on the court. Clip from last night's press conference with Coach Kelvin Sampson speaking about not really focusing on the Big 12 prior to the season, what they accomplished this season, replacing 4 starters, which is customary for the Cougars, and then some comments about freshman big man JoJo Tugler having surgery Wednesday because the doctor said it was important to have it as soon as possible. Coach Sampson had hoped to be with JoJo when JoJo went into surgery and be with him after surgery as well, but doctor said, no, got to have it as soon as possible, so they had it. So the team did FaceTime with him before surgery on Wednesday. So first half of the game against UCF Wednesday night, if you saw the players, I thought they were kind of scattered and not really focused and locked in. That could have been part of it as well. But here's some comments from Coach Kelvin Sampson. Then more and more Coug news, Big 12 news. Going to touch on the Houston Cougars women's team. The opposite of success when it comes to men's basketball on campus. But talk about them as well because they have their first matchup tonight in day 1 of the Big 12 Women's Basketball Championship in Kansas City. Here we go, Kelvin Sampson.
Just, way back in June, I don't think we ever really talked about the Big 12. We talked about what our June is like. Our June is getting our new guys. We're so used to losing 4 starters every year. Going in June, we had lost Jarris Walker, the 8th pick, Marcus Sasser, the 25th pick, Tremont Mark transferred, and may he rest in peace. We had a kid that passed away and that started a lot of games, so we basically lost 4 starters. So the last thing you're thinking about is a new league. You're thinking about replacing 4 starters. Then we had, a freshman in JoJo Tugler, who we knew was going to have to come in and help us, and he did until, we lost him last week. And then J1, who's the ultimate warrior, he's still playing with one hand. He's got 7 stitches right here in the web of his right hand. Just split his web, and it's really, really sore. So we only kind of had half of him. Then Terrence Arsenault, tears his Achilles. Ramon Walker sprains his lateral meniscus. So we've had our share of injuries and adversity, but what we still have is our DNA. And that's could we escort her out? That's my daughter, by the way. But I think this is our 6th consecutive year winning the championship. That's where the DNA comes from. Our kids know how to win. LJ, because he's such a high character kid and comes from such a tremendous family, fit right in. Jamal was the clear leader of this team from day one, but his role had to change this year. Juan, it's his 5th year in the program. His role had to change. Then Javier Francis, he wasn't very good the first half tonight, but he was really good the second half. But, there's, we have this thing called disruption points that we focus on. And we scored 22 points off their turnovers tonight. We scored 20 points on second chance points. That was offensively, we weren't very good. Free throw shooting, We might as well have been shooting blindfolded half the time. But what we've been really good at here for a long, long time is we know how to win the game. Some nights we play great, and we're probably not nearly as good as people think we are. And then some nights we don't play very good, and you're trying to figure out how to ever win a game. But the two things those things have in common is we win both ways, and that's important to be able to do that.
Two things. One, what was going through your head when you saw Francis on the floor? You're not knowing the extent of it then, but talk about what he did when he came back in, a couple of dunks, block shot.
Yeah, well, I got on Jamal and J1 especially for the way he played. I said at some point, most, whether it was our Final Four team or the Elite Eight team or one of those other Sweet 16 teams, different teams we've had, our best teams have always been player-led. And I didn't think we were leading the first half. I think everybody was, that was an emotional, kind of a hard-fought game on Saturday. JoJo's surgery was this morning. He got moved back because the doctor wanted it done ASAP. So we had kind of a video thing with JoJo. It's like we were everywhere but the game tonight. But once we locked in at halftime, and I got on Maul and Juan about the way Javier played. What do you want me to do? Scream and fuss and cuss at him? No, why don't you do it? He's your teammate. You hold him accountable. And they did. And he responded. So really proud of Jay. Second half, we needed him. First half we just weren't very good. Not taking anything away from UCF, but we didn't play with a lot of pop. Didn't have a lot of juice. But we went to halftime not playing very good. We're only down 3. And then our transition defense took a sabbatical there the first 2 or 3 minutes of the half. But once we tightened our screws up, we know how to run our offense to the guy that's making shots. And I told Maul to keep shooting, and then when he missed 3 in a row, I said, well, maybe not. And I said, let's give number 4 a shot at it. So. But I'm being facetious. But when you stand over on the sidelines, sometimes when it's a slow game or a half-court game, you've got to be a little bit of an offensive coordinator. So you just call your stuff to make sure the ball's in the player's hands you want the ball in.
Winning DNA. It's in our DNA. It's the culture of Houston Cougars men's basketball. In spite of injuries to players, key players, they still find ways to win. It's not pretty. Doesn't have to be pretty. All that matters at the end of the game, you have more points than the opponent. Houston Cougars men's basketball, 27-3, 14-3 in the Big 12, the best conference in men's basketball, top to bottom. And they are in first place, their first year in the Big 12. Salute to Kelvin, Sampson, the staff, and the players. First year in the best conference in men's basketball, and they are regular season champs. That is a hell of an accomplishment. If you're joining in lately, thank you to watching the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E. This Throwback Thursday on lunch break, but it's a takeover. It's the Houston Roundball Review Takeover. Thank you to AJ Jones for giving me this platform each Thursday at lunchtime to talk and share my thoughts with you, the audience, tuning in on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Fire TV, Musk. That's Twitter or X for some folks who don't know. I refer to it as Musk. And of course, on Roku. Yes, Roku. You can watch the show live right now on Roku. Just go to BS3 TV on Roku and see my shiny bald head and my BS3 shirt. But yes, the Houston Cougars men's basketball, Big 12 champs, first season. Who'd have thunk it? Not me. I'll be honest. Well, I thought they could win it, but I thought they'd have with 5 or 6 losses. Right now, they only have 3. Amazing. And back at it. Senior day. against Kansas. Kansas is 15th in the net. Be another quad one. Miss Wanda, notice this. Last week, for the Cougs' last 2 wins, they went from 10 Q1 wins to 7, then to 9. Now they're back to 12. Now they have 12 quadrant 1 wins. The Q2s went up. So some of the teams who they had beaten this season took a few stumbles, but Texas Tech has started winning again, and Texas Tech has improved their status in the net rankings. They're now back at Q1 status. But this Saturday, senior day, 3 o'clock on ESPN, a lot of folks will be in the building at Fertitta Center for that matchup, Houston, Kansas. It is going to be massively loud and raucous. Get there early because you got softball earlier that day on campus, but the senior day ceremonies will start at 2:30. So be in your seats to recognize and acknowledge and applaud the seniors who will be honored Saturday afternoon, your Houston Cougars. Ahmed, thank you for chiming in, brother. They're not very healthy. They're not as healthy as they could be. You know, they're out 3 key players for the season. Terrence Arsenault, Ramon Walker, and now recently, JoJo Tugler. So it's down to 8 players. But it's 8 young men who will give it everything they have. The lack of depth could be an issue throughout the postseason. But they're going to give it everything they have, and they have a chance. And that's all Houston Cougar fans should ask for, is a chance to compete for a championship year in, year out. And that's what Kelvin Sampson and his staff have instilled and installed in this program. Do I think they're going to do it this year because of without the key players? It's not likely. But I wouldn't put it past them because of who they have on that sideline in Kelvin Sampson. Miss Wanda knows how dark the days have been for Houston Cougars basketball. Folks watching on all the platforms, they know if you've been around long enough, you realize, you remember, you recall the dimly lit Hofheinz Pavilion. You didn't see it all the time, but media who walked around in Hofheinz saw the rodents scurrying in the tunnels, the rats. You wouldn't want to bring recruits on visits. And now Fertitta Center, bright lights. It's the hot ticket in basketball. It's not the Rockets. It's the Houston Cougars men's basketball program. Amazing, amazing job that Kelvin Sampson has done. Back to the net. Through Wednesday night, March 6th, Houston Cougars number 1 in the net. They've been number 1 almost the entire season. Iowa State ranked 8th. BYU. Led Iowa State in Ames, Iowa by 14 points in the second half with that Hilton magic. That crowd got involved and started impacting those young BYU guards. And they did not handle the pressure down the stretch, and Iowa State came through and got it done. So salute to Coach Muscles and his players, Curtis Jones, Robert Jones, Taman Shipley, for getting that dub to remain 1 game behind Houston in the Big 12. Jamal Shead is as healthy as he's going to be. Jawan Roberts, once those stitches heal, I'm not sure how long that will take, it'll be better. But right now he's playing with one hand, his left hand, his good hand, his shooting hand, his dominant hand. They're going to do what they got. Do with what they have. It's not an excuse. The injuries are part of it. Sure, you'd like the guys to be as close to 90, 95, 100% as possible, but they're not. That's why winning this Big 12 regular season championship means so much. It means so much. I don't put a whole lot on the money grab of a conference championship because it's 3-4 days. You get hot. whatever. Not that big a deal to me. But there are the net rankings. Look at that. 5 Big 12 teams in the top 15. Houston 1, Iowa State 8, BYU 12, Baylor 13, Kansas 15. Texas has won some games in a row, back up into the 20s at 28. Texas Tech, same. Won some games, had a little bump in the road, but they're now 37. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Dizzy Busy as well. Thank you for watching the show. Thank you for your comment. Coach Sampson is a legend. What he's accomplished here it's miraculous. Thank you for watching me on KHOU on Sunday, all Matt. Appreciate that. Had a chance to talk with Matt Musil and the new guy, Zach, and Jason Bristol. I was the contrarian regarding National Player of the Year. I said Jamal Shead. I know Jamal's not going to win the award. It's Zach Edey's award, big man from Purdue. But it gave Jamal some shine. Jamal's getting more attention nationally, which is good to see. 8 through 14, net rankings for Big 12. TCU 38, Oklahoma 41, Cincinnati, another newcomer, 45. How about that? The 4 newcomers. Houston 1, BYU 12, Cincinnati 45, and UCF 67. So 4, the newcomers, no worse than 67 in the best conference in men's basketball. Kansas State 77, Oklahoma State 121, and West Virginia 147. All right, let's get into more of this. As I stated, here's the schedule for the weekend, for Saturday in Big 12 men's hoop, the last day of the regular season. Iowa State at Kansas State, 1 o'clock. So if K-State snaps their 2-game losing streak and wins that game, Houston would clinch the outright Big 12 regular season title before tipping off at 3 o'clock. We'll see which K-State team shows up because they've been up and down all through the season and especially in conference play. Last time, in regular season meeting in Big 12, Oklahoma at Texas at 1 o'clock on ESPN. Kind of a neighborhood rivalry. Next, Mountaineers of West Virginia at Cincinnati, 1 o'clock on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. We all know the big one here in town. Kansas here in town against Houston at 3 o'clock on ESPN. UCF at TCU, 4 o'clock, Big 12 Now on ESPN+. Baylor at Texas Tech at 5 o'clock on the Deuce. And then wrapping it up, Oklahoma State in Provo against BYU, 8 o'clock on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. There's the schedule for the next week's Big 12 Men's Basketball Championship. Day 1 starts on Tuesday. Day 2, Wednesday. The quarterfinals, Day 3. The Cougars will be part of this on Day 3. Starting their first game will be in the quarterfinals. They're either going to play, if they're the number 1 seed, at 2 o'clock. If they're the number 2 seed, at 6 o'clock. Stay tuned for that. But that is my birthday as well. So I'm not sure if I'm going to have a show next Thursday for the lunch break. So stay tuned. Semifinals, Friday. Championship game, Saturday, March 16th. Going to talk about the women momentarily, but real quick. Apparently, been confirmed, Houston Houston Athletics will not have a fan watch party on Selection Sunday. I think that's a fail. I think that's a mistake. Another chance for the fans to recognize the team's accomplishments when they are announced as a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament, men's tournament. Another chance to sell merch, concessions, etc. But reportedly, they're not going to do that. There won't be a watch party for Selection Sunday. There will be a media gathering, so I'm okay. I'll be there for that, but not for the fans. Oh well, okay. Back to women's hoops, Big 12 women's hoops. in the net. Longhorns, number 3, tops in the Big 12, although the Longhorns did not win the Big 12 regular season title. That went to Oklahoma. Oklahoma finished 15-3 in conference play, but their net ranking is 26. And Oklahoma, 15-3 in Big 12. Their last non-conference game before conference play started, they lost at home to Southern from the SWAC. But they turned things around in conference play and went 15-3. But the rest of the Big 12 women's rankings, Longhorns 3, K-State 15, Baylor 17, West Virginia 22. And look at the records, overall records, and conference records for these teams. Most of the losses came in conference play. Oklahoma lost 8 games overall, but only 3 in conference play. Iowa State, the youngest team in conference play. 2 freshmen made the all-freshman team, Audie Crooks and Addie Brown. So they should be a team to reckon with the next 3 years as long as they're on campus at Iowa State. Kansas, 40. Those 7 teams are projected to be in the NCAA tournament. 7 women's teams from Big 12 in the tournament, 9 or 10 men's teams from the Big 12 postseason play in the NCAA tournament. Second half of the conference, TCU 45. The injuries really ravaged them. They're going to probably have to advance to the Big 12 championship game to have a legit shot at going to the NCAA tournament. Obviously, if they win it all, they'll get the automatic berth. Then Oklahoma State at 58, Texas Tech 76, and then the 4 newcomers. Contrast that to the men. Men's side, the 4 newcomers, no worse than 67. Women's side, newcomers, all 4 of them. The bottom 4 in the net. BYU 79, UCF 88, Cincinnati 93, and last and least, the Houston Cougars women's team at 97. And yes, I said it last and least. 10 years. 10 years. All mad. You are a regular viewer of the lunch break and a regular viewer of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover. You've heard me say this. Miss Wanda's heard me say this. Dizzy Busy, I'm not sure if you heard me say this, but I'm going to say it again for those who may be new to the show. 10 years. Kelvin Sampson has been head coach at Houston. Also 10 years. Ronald Huey has been head coach at Houston women's basketball. Ronald Huey has not made 1 trip to the NCAA tournament. Not 1 in 10 years as head coach at Houston. Moving on. Say this right here. Let me pull it up. Today, first day. There we go. First day. Day 1. Cougars are 13th seed in the Big 12 Women's Basketball Championship. At the first game, 5:30 Central Time this evening against Texas Tech, the 12th seed. Texas Tech has lost 9 in a row. 9 in a row. Hit the skids. Oddly enough, they finished 5-13. 2 of their 5 wins were over the Houston Cougars. But I'm not sure which Tech team is going to show up today. I'm not sure which Houston team is going to show up today. The Cougs could win today to extend their season 1 more day. Then if they do that, they'd face 5-seed Baylor Friday morning at 11 o'clock. And then I think the season will end and be over by 1:30 p.m. So first round today, second round Friday, and the quarterfinals begin on Saturday, March 9th. See the top 4 seeds there. Iowa State, first game, 11 o'clock. Then Oklahoma, the 1 seed at 1:30. Longhorns, 2 seed at 5:30, the second session for that day. And then 3 seed K-State in the final game on Saturday at 8 o'clock. Semis, I skipped around, but there we go. I'm going to go talk about that info, the fan experience that the Big 12 announced after we take a bottom of the hour break and remind everybody or let folks know who are new to BS3 TV what BS3 TV is all about. Be back in 90 seconds. You are watching the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Fire TV, and of course, Twitch, Roku, via the BS3 Network.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Welcome back to the Houston Roundball Review Takeover on the lunch break, powered by JM&E. I am KG Chris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. You're watching this show. If you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, Musk, Fire TV, and Roku via BS3 TV, thank you very much. Tell your friends about the show. Tell your friends about the Houston Roundball Review. Tell your friends about JM&E. If you have a Roku streaming device, simply download BS3 TV. If you don't have it yet, just go to BS3Network.com or BS3TVLive.com. Back at it. We're going to talk about entertainment, the money grab of conference championships in college basketball. First up, Big 12. Like I said, starts today. Good afternoon. Family, got on my shirt today. BS3, got it right here. Area right there. Thank you very much. Check this out if you haven't already heard it, read about it, seen it. Next few slides will be about music and entertainment, food provided, offered at these next, 10 days, 10, 11 days at the Big 12 men's and women's basketball championships. First up, music and entertainment. DJ Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal will return to the Big 12 Hoops Championship as he performs a 45-minute DJ set following the men's championship game on March 16th. DJ Diesel will perform at 9 o'clock at the Kansas City Live stage of the Power and Light District, which is right across the street from T-Mobile Center. Rising DJ star LC Danger, don't know who that is. I'm old, not in the loop, not hip, will serve as the opening act for DJ Diesel. Partnerships and collabs. The Big 12 continues its WWE partnership with a WWE and Big 12 championship title belt that will be presented to the most outstanding player of both the men's and women's championship. The conference will also make its return to NYC, partnering with TSX to live stream the men's and women's championship games in Times Square. That's pretty neat. Next, the Big 12 is teaming up with Planet Comic-Con, Kansas City, one of the nation's largest and longest running comic book and pop culture events held annually at the Kansas City Convention Center. This partnership will see Planet Comic-Con KC and the Big 12 engage in cross-promotion marketing with cosplay characters visiting the Women's Championship on March 8th. Not into that stuff, but I know some folks are, so enjoy. This is for folks like Ben at BS3, the head of BS3, premium seating and fan experience. The Big 12 basketball championships will mark the return of the Championship Club, which is a premium food and beverage experience for courtside seat ticket holders. Additionally, 400 plus premium seats have been added for the championships. More info. 2 new premium club spaces, the Modelo Courtside Lounge and the Concourse Club, are also being introduced. The Modelo Courtside Lounge, I love Modelo. If y'all want to give me some as a part of my promotion, email me at kgardner@thehrr.com. Heck, I'll put it on the screen because I do love Modelo. Seriously, truly, I do. Where is it? When I need it, there we go. Contact me right there at kgardner@thehrr.com. Modelo, hit me up. Let's talk. But the Modelo Courtside Lounge features 16 semi-private tables that offer unparalleled views of Big 12 basketball, as well as in-seat service. Ben, Miss Wanda Allmad, Mr. Willie Gibson, AJ Jones. The Concourse Club is a private club that will be located by Section 113, offering fans access to upscale dining options and a VIP experience throughout the championships. CA37, I had planned to go. I got approved to go. Then everything in the house has literally fallen apart. Literally. Bathroom, plumbing, toilet, everything has just stopped working or cracked or broken. That plus folks who I had planned to attend and share cost have ghosted me. So no, unfortunately, I am not going. Next, this is interesting. Big 12 Eats, that'll be the hashtag throughout the championships. In partnership with Levi, some say restaurants, Levy Restaurants, Big 12 Eats is back. The return of school-specific menu items has expanded to 15 culinary creations, including, I'm going to read each of these. It's 14 member schools and then one Big 12 food item. Let me know in your comments what you think about these. First up, Baylor brisket sliders. It's a Dr. Pepper glazed brisket, sweet slaw on a brioche bun. Cosmos churros. That's BYU. Caramel, some say caramel, filled churro, sweet cream drizzle, mini marshmallows, cinnamon sugar, and toffee crumble. Next, the UCF Citronaut drink, orange soda and vanilla ice cream. The Cincy cheese coney, the jumbo hot dog, Cincinnati style chili, onions, and cheddar cheese. H-Town. Let me know about this one, Miss Wanda. Shasta's brisket tacos. Chopped beef brisket, corn and black bean salsa, cilantro, lime, corn tortillas. The ISU green chili pork walking taco. Doritos, green chili pork, shredded lettuce, cheddar, and jack cheese sour cream. Big J's loaded mac and cheese. Cavatappi pasta, creamy cheese sauce, house smoked pulled pork, barbecue sauce, crispy fried onions with a dash of crimson red pepper flakes. The Power Cat PB&J, Kansas State. Fried peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Alrighty. The Oklahoma onion burger. Tobacco onions ranch dipper. OSU's orange power pizza. Pepperoni, sausage, ham, sweet pepper bacon, mozzarella, cheddar, ranch drizzle. That might be my one right there. Cowtown loaded tots. That's TCU. Fried tater tots, spicy queso sauce, chopped house smoked brisket, corn and black bean salsa, topped with horned frog purple sour cream. Just lost me. Big Bertha loaded baked potato, the Longhorns. Chopped house smoked brisket, cheddar cheese, green onion, sour cream, butter, barbecue sauce. Almost done. Next, the Masked Rider Burger. Texas Tech. All beef patty, cheddar, fried onion rings, sweet pickled jalapenos, and Red Raiders barbecue sauce. West Virginia's Mountaineer Pepperoni Roll. Sliced pepperoni and mozzarella cheese roll. And the last, the Big 12 Dog. Foot long, all beef hot dog, ketchup, mustard, red cabbage slaw, black sesame seeds, diced white onions, spicy cheese sauce, and sauteed orange peppers. Which of those is your favorite? Or which of those is your hell no, this is just not going to work? What do you think? Ahmed says, stop, you're making me hungry. Off the top of my head, I'm trying to think. What am I? That's Jayhawk. Big J's, as in Kansas, Jayhawks. I am, yeah. A few of those I like to try. I'm not big on that fried PB&J sandwich, though. I don't know why. I'm going to talk to Coach Jerome Tang about that one. No, I don't know about that. But those food items, once again, that's part of the Big 12 Eats. You can get that school-specific menu items during the Big 12 men's and women's basketball championships taking place starting today, this evening, at T-Mobile Center in Kansas City. Women's game right here. Houston Cougars finished the season, regular season, 5-13 in conference play. 14-15 overall, under 500. They will finish the season under 500, barring some deep run in this Big 12 championship, which I highly doubt. I want to be wrong. I hope to be wrong. I doubt it. But tonight, the Cougs face Texas Tech, 5:30 p.m. Game can be seen on Big 12 now on ESPN+. Tech has lost 9 in a row. 9 in a row. Tech is also 5-13. 2 of their 5 wins are over the Houston Cougars. The Cougs did win their last game. They won their senior night game. Won by a point after leading by 21 points in the third quarter and then trailing by 5 with 2 minutes to go. But they scored the last 6 points of the game to win by 1. So you got to give them some kind of credit for resiliency. Prairie View this weekend in H-Town inside H&PE Arena. PV will come face Texas Southern. Prairie View men's team. I left it up there last few games. PV men lost 4 in a row. They're 5-12. I don't believe they're going to make it to the qualify as one of the top 8 for the SWAC men's basketball championship. They lost right there February 26th at Mississippi Valley. That was Valley's first win of the season. I wonder if head coach Byron Smith, his time at Prairie View is coming to an end. We shall see. Time will tell. Rice women begin postseason play Sunday, March 10th in Fort Worth inside Dickies Arena. Rice lost 5 in a row. They were at 1 point 9-4. Finished the season 9-9. As a 10 seed, they're going to face 7 seed UAB. 6 o'clock. That game can be seen on ESPN Plus. Saturday evening, I'm going to try to go from Fertitta Center to, I'm not sure if I'll be able to stop by H&PE. We'll see if I can do that. But end up at Rice to see Senior Day and Rice face off, Rice men square off against North Texas, 7 o'clock on ESPN Plus. All members in the AAC will participate in the postseason AAC basketball championship, unlike the SWAC and the Southland. TSU hosting Prairie View this weekend. Be there 3 o'clock, ladies first, men after that, 5 o'clock. As I said earlier, HCU men's and women's teams, postseason not happening for them. Neither one of them qualified for the Southland Conference Championship. The Husky season ended last night on the road in Beaumont, losing by 10 at Lamar. Women's team season will end tonight, also in Beaumont. The game got rescheduled from Wednesday to tonight. Lamar women's team is 16-1. HCU's women's team is 1-16. Well, so there we go with that. But once again, the Houston Cougars men's team has at least clinched a share of the Big 12 regular season championship after Wednesday's gritty 67-59 road win in Orlando over UCF. LJ Cryer scored 19 of his game-high 25 points in the second half. Javier Francis, after rolling his right ankle in the second half, limping to the bench, then limping to the back to the locker room, training room, getting retaped, returned to the game, and was reborn. Had a dunk, a block shot, and another dunk to tie the game at 42. He finished the game with 10 points, 8 boards, and 2 block shots. Javier Francis, avoiding foul trouble, will be a key to the Cougs going as far as possible in this postseason because of the lack of front court depth, especially with injuries to Terrence Arsenault, Ramon Walker, and JoJo Tugler. But he came through. The team leaders, Jamal Shedd and Jawan Roberts, got on him at halftime, held him accountable, and Jay came through for his teammates in the second half. Good question. Do I think senior night will show who is officially leaving, or could players do the ceremony and still return? Some schools are different because I have seen some players take part in the senior day ceremony and come back. So it's not necessarily an indicator that if you see folks honored this Saturday before the game, 2:30, reminder, 2:30 for the senior day ceremonies, that those young men won't return next season. I know all of them have their COVID year to use. All of them will not use that COVID year. All of them will not return next season. We'll see who returns. And right now, I'm not sure. I wouldn't say surprised. Why would you be surprised at that? why would you? How things have gone for him this season? Well, if he decided to leave, why would you be surprised at that? And keep in mind who they got coming in as freshmen, who they got sitting on the bench, redshirting this year. Jacob McFarland, Cordell Jefferson will be redshirt freshman next year. Master P's son, Mr. Miller's coming in. Got my man's name. Other 6'5" freshman, he's coming in. Terrence Arsenal's coming back after injuring his Achilles in December. Ramon Walker should be back. JoJo should be back. And then based on who decides to leave, the Coogs will hit the portal and be fine. The train will continue rolling for Coach Kelvin Sampson and the program. Not going to begrudge any of these young men doing what they believe is best for them and their families. I may shake my head at some of their decisions if they decide to leave, but I wish them the best of luck in their pro careers or in their lives after Houston Cougars basketball. Going to cut it short there, folks, unless you have more questions here. 3 or 4 more minutes to talk with you. I haven't seen the Rockets the last 2 games. I know Alpi Şengün had a triple-double in Wednesday's loss to the Clippers, to Harden and the Clippers. I know the Rockets were outscored by 19 points Wednesday night, 78-59 in the second half, 42-30 in the fourth quarter. Lost 122-116. When Rockets opponents have scored 120 or more this season, Rockets have won 1 time. And I think they've lost 17 or 18 times when opponents have scored 120 or more, like the Clippers did last night. The Rockets are good enough to be what they are. Not a playoff team. There's still room for growth, room for improvement. Tari Eason had his surgery this week to remove a benign growth on his lower left leg, on his tibia. So they finally decided to have surgery, finally resolved it, realized that rest was not going to be enough for his recovery. Each time he would rest and then try to practice, ramp it up, the pain would return and be more bothersome for Tari. So he had surgery, had a graft, and he'll be back next season. So wish him well. I think timeline for recovery is 4 months for him. So the Rockets now know officially, Tari's been out since January 1st, but you see his absence is a big impact on Houston defense and their transition game. But beyond that, the Rockets, as these remaining 20-plus games, just got to figure out, do the best they can with what they got. And then we'll discuss it this summer, or we'll see this summer if the Rockets decide to do anything regarding young Mr. Jalen Green. Reminder, click on that shop button if you're watching on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. Get your Roundball Review mug. Cheers to you and everyone enjoying a sip of your favorite beverage as you watch the Houston Roundball Review Takeover. If you're just now joining the show, last moment, newly launched tie-dye collection. Houston Roundball Review tie-dye t-shirts. Click on that shop button. Buy you a t-shirt. Buy you a tie-dye Roundball Review hoodie. Crew neck. It's springtime, so it's still cool somewhere. Not really here in Houston, but tie-dye crew necks. Or get you a Houston Roundball Review tie-dye bucket hat. Click on that shop button. Support the Houston Roundball Review. Spread the word about the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E. Each Thursday on the lunch break, the Throwback Thursday edition is now the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the lunch break. I am KG Chris Gardner. Thank you for your time. Thank you for spending your lunch break with me. Thank you for watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Fire TV, Musk, and of course on Roku via the BS3 Network. Subscribe to this channel. Click on the bell so you can receive notifications of when new shows are posted. Got to do this. Want to thank everyone and acknowledge everyone for taking time out of their day for questions and comments. So I'm going to give you a salute. Steve Adams had season-ending surgery. He'll be back next season to back up Alperen Şengün and defend those bigger bodies that Alpi still struggles with. Thank you, Ahmed, for your question and your time, brother. You take care. Always enjoy speaking with the audience and the fans. Thank you for the love and appreciation. Y'all know it. If you don't know it, I'm going to say it again. Since 1994. That's a long time, folks. Since 1994, the Houston Roundball Review. I'll be 52 March 14th. That's a little extra for you to know. Next Thursday, March 14th. Another trip around that sun. But the Houston Roundball Review since 1994. Local name, global perspective. Take care.